Okay, welcome to Burgundy with CMB. We're here with Édouard Labet. We've just been talking about the 2020 vintage, and we've been really happy to taste the 2020s from Domaine, Pierre and Château, which are excellent. And I wanted to ask you a little bit about the growing season. So Édouard, can you tell us a bit about 2020?
2020, obviously after 2021, is obviously an ideal vintage. Even though it was an unprecedented vintage, very unusual in a way that the weather conditions were really special with the warm weather, very sunny from mid-March all the way to September, and the harvest. We started picking actually on the 27th of August, which is quite early for us. But I would say that 20 is very surprising in its way that it's a very balanced vintage. We have of course the good ripeness, the good maturity, but also keeping the what's Burgundy is all about. The balance, the precision with the nice acidity, sharp acidity. So very pleased with the wines so far. How they're going.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And we were just saying it's so nice to be back in Burgundy after 2 years of not being able to come. And so, COVID has been difficult for everybody. Mm-hmm. And how was it at the Domaine? Did it provide fresh challenges for you, or?
Yeah, for sure. For sure, many challenges. Sorry, what we could expect as challenges. But I think it's first we were very lucky to be able to keep working, outside, while many people were locked in their apartments, and I think it kind of pushed everybody together, and that's what we felt on the 2020 vintage. We had lots of students, and we felt the energy. We felt, of course, we were scared about the whole situation, the fact that someone might get the COVID or something, but everybody actually stick together, and we felt this energy, and that was to me the 2020 vintage was my best vintage ever. Yeah, for sure. And of course, we took all the decisions to keep everyone protected, and safe. So individual plates, these kind of things, and that remains. And I think it's for good, because now people have the habits to wash their hands, to be very careful about the one that is next to you, the person that is next to you. So everybody's embracing the cause, which is not easy, but
yeah, no, excellent. And in terms of 2021, we've been hearing that it's a difficult vintage. It's a small vintage. There was frost and there was even some snow. How has it affected your domain?
Look, there's obviously a split between the Côte de Beaune and Côte de Nuit, and as we have vines plots located on the two coasts, we are witnessing this. The Côte de Nuit, we feel very lucky, especially with the Clos Vougeot and Gevrey. The Pinot Noir is always a bit late compared to the Chardonnay, and the frost that we suffered in April was just right in between. With what happened, we're quite positive with the harvest of the Clos Vougeot. Quite a decent yield, beautiful quality. We're getting back to I would say what we had, the vintages that we had in Burgundy quite some time ago. Getting back to regular October harvest. Whereas in the Côte de Beaune it's been slightly different, slightly more complicated, with tiny yield. Sorry, even though we try to fight against the frost, Mother Nature just comes back.
Yeah.
And it's quite harsh. So I would say it's a 50-50, 50-50 feeling good to put this vintage behind us and move forward to the next one.
Yeah.
But also keeping in mind many things about this vintage and what we can learn about it. So we are thinking about changing our pruning method, pruning organization, I would say. Trying also to think differently. So that's tough, but I think it will definitely help us for the future.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just a very short word on pricing, because we're aware that obviously with a very small 2021 crop, with a small 2020, with
Yeah.
prices. Demand has never been better in
Yeah.
Burgundy. So what does this mean for pricing in the years to come? I mean, in general, not just at your domains, but
Yeah, no, of course. So, I mean, speaking of us, we haven't been, increasing the prices over the last few vintages. So, obviously, with what happens in 2021, we might expect something. Nothing has been planned yet.
Sure.
We'll see. But overall, yeah, the situation is tough, as you said. We have a lot of demands, an offer that is decreasing over the years, because you have to imagine that in the last 10 years, only 17 and 18 were vintages where we actually reached the expectations. 16, of course, the frost. 19, the lack of water, the hydric stress, and the weather condition that decreased also the yield. So all this combined, and also the fact that we have to push forwards the viticulture and the winemaking, because we're seeking for to produce better wines year after year, and that requires something. We have moved to. We work organic since '92, but we have moved to the certification. For us, organic and biodynamic is 30% more work in the vineyards and in the winemaking. So obviously everything has a cost. We'll do our best to keep it, affordable.
yeah, reasonable. Yeah.
Reasonable.
Yeah.
No, but as much as we can.
Yeah.
As much as we can, of course. We see many things, but there's a lot of things that that happens behind only the price.
Okay, I understand. And finally, are there any vintages in the past maybe 5, maybe 10 years that you really love drinking at the moment? So when you're at home, what do you drink?
So we talked about it during the lunch. We like to taste outside Burgundy, but I'll stick it to Burgundy. No, of course, it's always the tricky question, the $1 million question. But I would say, for us, the best time is when you feel that the wine is meant to be open. If you feel the occasion, if you just feel the need for it. But I would say vintages that start to be really, really showing up are vintages like 10, 12 that we find very brilliant, and even unexpected vintages. We talked about 08. It's actually fun to taste 08 because I wasn't there, but I heard that it's very similar to what we had in 21. So kind of those vintages kind of helps you understanding what how the wine could age. So I would go for 10, 12, or maybe trying different things. I would go for what you want, pretty much. I don't know if it's. I'm snaking into that question, but it's always a bit of a tricky one.
Response. It's a good response. Édouard, thank you so much.
My pleasure. Guy, always good to see you.